The Spanish Inquisition was the period in which the trials and tribunals of the Inquisition persecuted and tortured non-Catholics in a 400-year period. The Inquisition persecuted, tortured, and executed many civilians for sins, heresy, and being non-Catholic in general. This project will prove about the Inquisition and its destructive effects throughout its existence. With these events unfolding, the Inquisition shows how the Church's responsibilities is necessary to judge what is right or wrong, but failed in that regard with paranoia and perceived dangers from non-Catholics. Much change occurred during this period, especially Spain regressing from a multicultural society that it was known for to a paranoia-fueled hatred towards non-Catholics. By this point in Spain's history, the Black Plague had made its course of destruction. Ferdinand Aragon and Isabella Castile, pictured here, were married and the two countries were united to a Spanish state. All of the Jews and Muslims in Spain were forced by the monarchy to convert to Christianity or face exile. The turning point was on 1478 as the Pope granted permission to establish religious tribunals, and the Inquisition was born. The Jewish community in Spain faced humiliation, such as anti-Semitism or forced conversion. They were also blamed for the spread of the plague in Spain and were singled out for their wealth and riches. Other groups such as Muslims and Protestants were targeted as well. Muslims in particular were also subjected to forced conversions or faced exile. Many rights were violated during the Inquisition period. Among these include worship of any or lack of religion and the right not to be subjected to wrongful persecution, as anyone perceived to be a sinner were forced to convert and accept Christianity or face torture and execution for having a different viewpoint. These events happened as a response to the change in Europe and the expanded power of the two monarchs. The Inquisitions themselves were trials in which the accused would be executed, property would be confiscated, and male descendants would not be allowed to hold public office. They had also controlled the censorship body of Spain and contraband. They lasted until 1834, in which they were abolished by royal decree. The Inquisitioners tried to maintain the Catholic status quo during its existence. It tried to maintain this by checking the legitimacy of the converted Jews and Muslims, and corrected any behavior. The Inquisition was structured into a pyramid-type system. Ultimately, it was the responsibility of the monarchy of the Inquisition's actions. However, nothing was done as the Inquisitioners were already efficient in their tribunals, and the fact that they focused their attention to the Protestants. One such outcome was that over 10,000 Jews had fled Spain because of the restrictions imposed, with between 120,000 through 40,000 forcibly expelled. At first, the people of Spain reacted positively to the tribunals, but their popularity declined with the arrival of the ideas and writings of the Reformation. The Inquisitioners could not stop the flow of new ideas to Spain. Spain's reputation of being a multicultural society had also declined. Eventually, the powers of the Inquisition had been lessened into censorship and ultimately led to its abolition in 1834. The events in the Inquisition were important as they show how far the religious establishment could go far to ensure social and moral stability. It had also showed the result of fanaticism and paranoia of the Church and Spain at the time. It also had provided insight about what was going on with the Church and its response to the change at the time.